everyone, it's Alexis from Dress to Sustain, and today we're going to be talking about how you can tell the difference between a fast fashion company and a slow fashion brand. Before we jump into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and also hit the little bell notification to make sure that you're first to know whenever I upload a new video. In my last video of this series, we talked about how you can find different ways of making slow fashion a bit more affordable, different ways to budget and invest in different pieces from slow fashion brands. And this week, in the final installment of this series, we're going to talk about 5 different ways that you can look at a slow fashion brand and determine whether or not it really is a good brand to support and worth the money, or whether it's a brand that is greenwashing or just not maintaining ethical and sustainable standards. So the first way that you can distinguish whether or not you're looking at a truly slow fashion brand is the size of their inventory and the frequency of their collections. So if we think about a brand like Zara or H&M, you expect to go to their website and see hundreds and hundreds of different items in their store at any given point in time. Slow fashion brands, on the other hand, tend to be a lot more specialized. So rather than releasing hundreds of items, they might release 10 in any given collection. Truly slow fashion brands will focus more on the quality of a design and making something very unique. Additionally, slow fashion brands will also have smaller numbers of each of their inventory, so you might only have, let's say, 50 of one size and 50 of the next and 50 of the next, whereas fast fashion brands will have thousands of any given size. And while this makes for a bit more of a competitive buying market, in the sense that if you're a consumer, you do kind of have to hop on collection releases in order to get the item that you're looking for, it's also a lot more economical and sustainable for the brands themselves and for the planet. This is because brands will not overproduce items, so therefore they're not taking the resources that it takes to make those items, and they're not investing their money into those extra products that don't end up being bought. So the next way that you can determine whether or not a company is a truly slow fashion brand is looking at the types of materials that they use. So firstly, are these materials long-lasting and durable? All brands likely use some kind of plastic derivative, like a spandex is very common, but you should be seeing a lot more natural fibers. So natural fibers include wool, cashmere, silk, linen, and these are a lot more long-lasting and also more timeless than their plastic counterparts. Another great thing about natural fibers is that they don't require as many chemicals to produce, and therefore are a lot less damaging on the environment. And I actually have a whole video on this that I will link in the description box below, and be sure to go check it out if you want to learn more about high quality materials and how to tell the difference between something that's more low end and something that is worth a little bit more money. The third tool you can use to evaluate a slow fashion brand is cost. If you've seen the other 2 videos of this series, you should be aware that slow fashion is always going to cost more than fast fashion. That's because of the way that it's made, the materials that are used. And this is good to know because if you're looking at a fast fashion brand that's maybe promoting a new sustainable or eco-friendly product, and they've put the price, let's say it's a t-shirt, at $10, it's probably not a truly sustainable product. And this is because that $10 value in no way can include fair labor, creating safe and equitable working conditions for employees across their chain, the cost of transportation, the cost of actually growing a material if it's a natural fiber. So know that if you see something that's a low cost but being promoted it as something that's sustainable, it's what we would call greenwashing. And this is just a really good sign to stay away and don't put your money there. So the next element of a truly slow fashion brand is representation. I'll start this off by saying that it is impossible for slow fashion brands to be exclusive and ethical. Slow fashion brands by definition are committed to sustainability, and sustainability includes social sustainability, which is representation, it's diversity and inclusion. This means that Workforces should be representative of a brand's community and different perspectives. Their models should be representative of different body types, different standards of beauty, different skin tones, experiences, and their sizes should be inclusive at all levels, from the smallest to the largest sizes available. On top of all of those things, representation should be front and center in a slow fashion brand's mission statement. It should be present in their social media. When it comes to slow fashion brands, you should be able to see different experiences represented. You should be able to hear different voices represented, and this should be ongoing. This is not something that is a trend. It's a commitment that a brand makes in order to be truly sustainable. So the final way that we can look at a slow fashion brand is to look really critically at their philanthropy. Does a slow fashion brand make regular donations to a specific nonprofit? And if we look closer, what is that nonprofit dedicated to? I think that second part is something that we often glaze over. We assume that by donating to an organization, it's automatically a good thing, but sometimes it's good to keep in mind that not all nonprofits are good nonprofits necessarily. It's important to look at the actual organizations, look at their mission statement, look at any sort of news that's come up recently, any conversations on social media about that nonprofit or the organization. It's really important as a consumer to look where your money is going, not just the money to the company, but also to their various causes that they invest in, and to know what these nonprofits and organizations are doing within communities to have a sense of where they're contributing and whether or not you agree with what they're doing. If you find that one of these companies is donating to a cause or a nonprofit that you don't believe in or you don't agree with, it's good to reach out to that brand and to let them know that as a consumer, you'd like to see them put their money elsewhere. All right, and that is all for this video and all for this series. I really hope you enjoyed and learned a lot. As I said in the beginning of this video, be sure to subscribe and hit the little bell notification button so you can know whenever I do a new upload. Also, feel free to follow me on social media. I do post pretty regularly on there, and be sure to check out my blog at dresstosustain.com. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.